Good morning. It's Sunday. I'm up on a little walk in the neighborhood. It's a really beautiful neighborhood. Something I appreciate about this place is all of the flowers and just like different plants that are planted in the yards. I guess this place has some pretty good experience with it. All of the street names are named after Nobel laureates, people who have won Nobel Prizes, which means that they've offered something pretty significant to society. And I remember when I first was driving on this street, I was after work, I came down from over that way, and I'm driving, and I see that sign right there, and it says Duroc. And then I live right down that same street, so it's, or I'm sorry, Pavlov, who's right there. So it's like Pavlov and Duroc. I live on Duroc. But Pavlov is a behavioral psychologist. Not even what he studied originally. I think he was an anatomist or something. He was just studying the body. But you've likely heard of his dogs. He is the gentleman who found out about conditioning behaviors. He would ring the bell, and his dogs would, their mouths would salivate. And then what he began to realize is that when he would ring the bell, his dogs' mouths would salivate anyways, even if there was no food. And so he wondered if this is something we could do with humans. And good morning. And sure enough, it was something, it's a principle that can be applied to humans. And so we can condition and train ourselves. And we learned that from Pavlov. And since then, there's been a lot of build off from then in cognitive behavioral therapy and different techniques for helping humans to live better lives. And so anyways, I just kind of saw that as like this, almost as like, a sign or like an omen that this is what I like to study, how to increase human wellness and psychology. And like, here's this street where, at one point, more Nobel laureates lived in this concentrated area. They call it University City, than anywhere else in the world, which means there was just a huge concentration of brilliant minds. And I'm sure there still is. I mean, we're here in La Jolla, California, right by UCSD, a mecca for neuroscience and other medical disciplines. And so even just to be in this neighborhood is like, what? Like, it's crazy for me that I get to live here. I feel so blessed. I try to take these walks in the morning and to remember that. Like, I woke up next to my girlfriend this morning. Man, I feel so lucky. Like that she's an incredible person and I get to share this life with her. I have great family at home and amazing friends that I want to continue to support and encourage. There's just so much to be happy about when I slow down and think about where I am and the reality that I have. So, if you're not already doing walks like this in the morning, or you're just taking time for yourself to reflect on what's actually going on, where are you heading, what is this all about? Like, what do you want to say? What do you want to say to those that you love, to those that you don't even know yet? What do you want people to know? Maybe even after you won't be here anymore. Maybe all that's silly. I don't know. But it's what I value. It's why I'm here talking to you, this screen, and walking in my neighborhood by myself. I mean, I'll probably look back at this video in a couple weeks and maybe it has like 3 or 4 views. Maybe I've watched it once or twice. But for me, these are like, it's an outlet to be able to talk about some of the things that I necessarily don't get the chance to talk about with people. I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, and so much of my time is just spent working, building someone else's dream, working at Tesla, which I said that with a bit of but in reality, there was a lesson I had heard from an Impact Theory episode where the guy says, I'm always building other people's dreams. Like, that's how you get your dream. And I realize like that's how I get my paycheck. I'm grateful for it, but I am looking for different roles, different positions, something where I can be stretched and grow and challenge and use my talents to increase the wellness of others. And so that's where I'm at. But I just want to take a quick pit stop over by these incredible flowers. Now, those are some type of, what do they call those? I mean, it's a succulent. Like, look at what that looks like. And some of them are more richly green. The other ones are kind of like wearing out. Usually they're really dark green like that. And then I don't know if it's when they start getting a little older or what, but they end up looking like they kind of pinkish reddish, which is pretty neat. But they produce these amazing flowers. And there's a little bee in there. So beautiful. I was at the safari park yesterday. Oh, these are nice. So weird. Yeah, in this neighborhood I see like flowers and plants that I just never saw before. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, it's like just super cool to take in new stimuli. But at the safari park yesterday, they were talking about how even just planting different succulents or plants that bees and other creatures, hummingbirds, can pollinate is helpful and helps with restoration. So even just like your backyard or your windowsill can actually help contribute to the environment in your neighborhood and to the wildlife. But yeah, this is my morning walk. I appreciate you spending the time with me and listening to this if you did. I actually feel pretty great. This is far removed from the mornings I would wake up feeling super anxious. Maybe some of you have experienced anxiety. But it can be pretty weird, and I was just like reflecting how grateful I am to not be feeling that way, to be in this, just to look at this plant. I get distracted, but I mean by beauty. Like, that thing is gorgeous. But just perpetually blessed and excited about my situation and what's going on. And when I'm not, it's usually not the circumstance as much as it is just my mindset. So these little conversations are reminders. Take that life inventory, what you're blessed, how you're blessed, and what's important to you, who's important to you. Think about where you're heading, all those things. That's what I'm doing these last couple weeks. Been isolating myself a bit, so I kind of need this outlet. It makes me feel better. It puts things into perspective. So thank you, me, for doing this video, and thank you for listening if you did.